Hey out there, it is Tiffany, and I felt like doing some videos. So I'm probably gonna do like a series of different videos, all in the same outfit. So you'll see this. I just came back from my sister's baby shower for my niece, my second niece, but fifth, whatever, niece and nephew. So I wanted to talk because this is the first thing I'm doing in a while. I was on hiatus with the on social media, and I've been taking time. And so the time that I said I was going to take, I didn't take. Okay, so if you've been on my Instagram, February 11th, I was like, I'm taking time. I'm taking like a month to reflect, to just get some thoughts together about what it is that I need, that I want to accomplish, right? Moving forward with the website, with other things in my life, all this stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna give myself, a month, and then maybe pop back up. I have not popped back up. It is, I've been taking more than a month, and that's fine. So the time that I actually was planning on taking to self-reflect, I ended up dating, which was unexpected. But I went out with 3 different guys. 3? I think so. I talked to like 10, but I went out with like 3 different guys. And so it was interesting. I haven't dated in a while, and like a long time actually. And I dated one person for a few weeks, and it was going really well, but it didn't work out. So I want to talk today about like chemistry and not getting so caught up in chemistry when you're dating. Because yes, that is important. Yes, that is like one of the things, but it is just one of the things, it is just one of the pieces. So it was interesting because this is the first time I had like serious chemistry with somebody in like years. And so, but it was even more so, honestly, I had more chemistry with him than I had with anybody in my life. And like immediately I was, comfortable and connected, and it made me think like, oh, is this, is this it or whatever? But, and like, I was so in tune with this person, and that was really new. So I want to point out that a really good thing my cousin said was, because I was just like, I've just never been so comfortable with somebody. And if anybody knows me, like, it takes me a really long time to get comfortable with people. Like, it can be years. but I would like to just right off the bat, like, comfortable with them. And my cousin, who is a therapist, she's my best friend. So she's like, well, maybe it's just because you're more comfortable with yourself. And so maybe let's not just make it about him. I was just like, okay. That could be, I mean, I definitely am. Like, I grow every whatever year, as I should, as you all should. So I definitely am more comfortable now with dating than I ever have been. And I am more comfortable around people in general than I ever have been. I've never been like much of a phone person, but like right off the bat when I'm talking to a new guy or whatever, I'm just like, well, let's talk to each other. Let's FaceTime. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm super comfortable now. So like, yeah, it could be that, also I was just really comfortable with just more comfortable with myself. I mean, it was also him because I went out with other people too, and that was not the case. I mean, it was also him. Like, it was just this chemistry that we had. But the thing is, like I said, it's not just all about chemistry. It's about lifestyle, and the chemistry is just the one thing. So if you get too caught up in chemistry, like that's how people who are in relationships get all messed up, and have like all these get into like emotionally cheating on their partners because they're like, oh, well, we have chemistry. But like the thing is, you can have chemistry with a lot of people. I mean, I don't have chemistry with a lot of people. I mean, obviously I've had chemistry with several people over time that I've dated, but that's the thing. You can have chemistry with a ton of people. It has to be more than that. It has to be does this lifestyle match up? Is this really what I want? Like, or do we have the same, goals? Do we have the same morals? Do we have the same, whatever? Because it's like we had amazing chemistry. I was super in tune with him. I knew a lot of things about him before I ever actually asked him. And that's just me, I guess, being more aligned with my psychic self, which is what I've been, wanting to take, the time to self-reflect so I can get more in tune with myself. Because I knew had been like kind of out of whack. So it was nice that I actually was able to tune into him and really know things before I knew them, right? So, but again, we had this amazing chemistry, and I was super comfortable. I talked to him about like a bunch of things I didn't talked about with anyone else, and because that's how like comfortable and like easy it was, right? But on the other hand, the lifestyle was totally different. It was like, it wasn't what I had envisioned, and it's just like, well, is this what you want? And clearly we had like some disconnects on certain things, but it's just like, but we're so like connected. And so it didn't work out because of other things. And that's what I'm saying is like, it can't be about chemistry. Like we get so caught up in like, oh my gosh, we're really vibing, we're really this, we're really that. And if you go just off of pure chemistry, like you're going to, it's not going to end that well if all you're thinking about is that, and not just the bigger picture of what can you bring to each other's lives. Do you have, common things to work towards, things like that. And so I just wanted to quickly get on there and talk about that. It's so, like, that's the hard thing. And I think it was really difficult for me when that was like, oh, this is, this is over. Because it was like, because I don't vibe with a lot of people like that. And it's harder to separate from someone that you're actually really into than when you're not. Like I said, I went out with other guys and it was just like immediately I was just like not interested. Not in that way. Like nice guys, but well, at least one of them was a nice guy. The other one was just like kind of sketchy. But yeah, the one was a nice guy. I was like, oh, I could see hanging out with him. But anything romantic, no. Like it was just, it's like it's like an immediate thing. And so it's easy to be like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. But when somebody that you actually are like, you have chemistry with, it's like rough. So I was just like really sad about that for a while. I tried to I jumped into just let me continue dating, and because I was just like let's just keep it moving. But I was like really bummed about it. It's like I went on this other date like probably the week after or 2 weeks after, that the last guy, and then I was like, oh, I miss him. I was like, oh, I was gonna be like, so I have my tells when I'm going out on dates, like if I feel like this can go somewhere, and it's usually like, if I feel like it's not gonna go anywhere. So, if I am spaced out, if I start spacing out, then, and I literally don't know what they're talking about, I'm spacing out and I'm thinking, I want to go home, or I'm spacing out like thinking like, could I be somewhere else right now? And when I have to literally pinch myself under the table and I'm just like, be present, that's when I know I'm like, this isn't going anywhere. I'm not interested. And the thing is like, on the other 2 guys that I went out with, both times, with both guys, I was just like, oh, I wish I could be talking to so-and-so instead, which was the guy that I had chemistry with. So like, clear tell. So yeah, so my one tell is like if I space out and I have to like bring myself back to present, and if I, and and this is on the other person's part, if they do something, and again with both of these other guys, that I wasn't interested in that way, when I'm talking, before I can finish what I'm saying, they they take whatever word they resonated with and start talking about, going into some other random tangent or whatever, making their own story. And I'm just like, thanks, like I didn't finish speaking. Like I hate when people do that. And so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna date somebody who does that at all. And so that's a huge tell. And like both of those other guys did that like several times while I was out with them, and I was just like, really? Thank you. I didn't even finish what I was saying. So and so that's when you kind of have your tells and you realize like what to look for, because the guy that I did have chemistry with, none of those things were an issue. Like I was very present when I was with him. He listened, he asked really good questions, and vice versa. He didn't like stop me when I was interrupting or whatever. People know me, like, no, I'm very quiet. Like, I don't speak that much. So when I'm speaking, like, I'm saying something. So it's just like, thank you for stopping me when I didn't even finish. Like, how rude. So, yeah. So, you know, again, chemistry is part of it. And so, like, that's one part. So, like, great, that guy had those things. And I didn't have those, you know, those tells, you know, go off my head like, oh, this isn't going anywhere. That was good, but like I said, like what I had in mind, that wasn't there. I was just really trying to make things work, and like when you're really trying to make things work in your mind about how this is going to work, like, okay, well, how am I going to do that? Because I had planned on doing this, and I planned on doing this in my life, but that's probably not going to work if this is the situation. And it's just like, do I really have to be like bargaining with myself over some guy that I've gone out with for a few weeks just because of chemistry? See, that's an issue. So I'm gonna get more into like kind of like where this is gonna go, is it like first instincts, you know, intuition later in another video where I'll probably be wearing the same outfit, because I'll probably just do it again like a little bit later. But again, like when you're like trying to bargain, like how, like things should actually, especially in the beginning, things should be pretty simple. Like things, obviously relationships are work and all that stuff, but in the beginning, if you're trying to make, like figure out like, how is this gonna happen, and I guess I have to really like not do this or compromise on this for this to happen and all this stuff. And it's like, you want to do that because you really like the person, and it's like we really liked each other, but it's like you know, it has to be more than I can talk to you about anything and we have really good chemistry and whatever, because there's all this other stuff. Because when chemistry starts to fade, which it sometimes will in relationships, or you have times when you go in and out of, you know, really desiring each other or whatever, there has to be that other stuff that you're actually working for. There has to be that commonality of your lifestyle, of your common goals and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. And my dating stint is over for now. I was on like a bunch of dating apps, and then not a bunch, I was on one. I'm always on just this one. Not always, but I was on this one, and then I joined another one after the thing with the other guy ended. And I was just like, let me give myself a break. But then I was like, screw it, forget it, I'm just gonna jump right back in. And then I joined some other one that was supposed to be good, and then of course, like, he's one of the first people I get matched with, because he was on, because I knew he was like on a bunch of dating sites, but and yeah, and then of course he's like one of the first people I get matched with, and I'm just like but yeah, so I deleted them though, and I was on this other one, but I was never really on it, but I deleted that too. So anyway, I was like, I just need to take a break, because that was exhausting. And then I was like, oh, it's Lent, which I never really did Lent. But I was just like, let me just give that up. Let me just give it up for Lent. And yeah, so that's where I've been, which I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing. I was out dating, but now I'm in my time of self-reflection, and just in the last, like, I don't know, week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's been like really good. a lot of clarity already, which is why I took my social media break, was to get clarity, and now I'm getting it, which, you know, probably would have served me better a lot sooner when I was supposed to instead of dating. So, but yeah, so this was just a brief video on dating and chemistry, and again, not to have that be the only thing you're taking into consideration when you're thinking about getting in a relationship and so on. Also, adding on to the chemistry, not all chemistry has to be romantic, right? So initially, this guy that I had all this chemistry with, I was like, we had talked for like a few days prior to first going out, but prior to meeting, and I was like, I mean, he seems cool, whatever. Like, it was nice talking to him, and I was just like, I'm probably gonna meet him, and we'll probably just be friends, right? Because I wasn't, like I said, lifestyles were different, and I was not really seeing that as something that I would get into. But I was like, he's a nice guy to talk to. Like, I'm cool with making friends, right? And because when we had our date, like halfway through this date, I'm like, damn, I really like him. But the thing is, not all chemistry has to be romantic. So initially, like, my first instinct was, like I said, you have to think about other things other than the chemistry. You know, the lifestyle. I already knew his lifestyle before, you know, agreeing to meet up with him. And so that's why I was just like, this is probably not going to be it, because like this is just, you know, not what I see for myself. And then I have this chemistry, and all logic goes out the window. Everything that I already knew went out the window because we were vibing. And that's, again, how you get all messed up. So again, the chemistry didn't have to be a reason why I threw stuff out the window. Like, we can have chemistry, and not all chemistry has to be romantic. It could have just been the friendship chemistry that I thought I went into it thinking it was going to be, because I knew our lifestyles were different. And so had I just gone into it like, okay, like, you know, let's just hang out, because and had this conversation about, you know, this is really different and this is probably not going to work because of these reasons, then I could have saved myself some time and sadness when it, you know, fell apart because of those reasons that I knew to begin with. So again, like, let's not get caught up in chemistry, and it's okay to have chemistry with people and it not be romantic. It could just be friendship chemistry, and that's great, because obviously you have chemistry with your friends, otherwise they wouldn't be your friends. And yeah, and my turtles are probably fighting right now. But I'm gonna end this video, and I just wanted to throw that in there. Yeah, not all chemistry is romantic and has to be romantic. And I think we think about it that way when it's with the opposite sex. Even though I have male friends, but the chemistry between my male friends, like, it grew over time. But for me to have instant chemistry with somebody, then, you know, it messed my head up. And I should have just let it be like, oh, well, I just have this instant friendship chemistry, which happens. I have that with girlfriends. Like, I can have instant friendship chemistry with guy friends too. And that's, you know, you take yourself somewhere you don't need to be because it's someone of, you know, the sex that you're interested in. And it doesn't have to be that way, because sometimes we just mess ourselves up unnecessarily. And so, again, not all chemistry has to be romantic.